Go full screen here. Okay. We seem to have fixed the problem. I don't know why the game capture was like, oh, I don't feel like working right now. I think otherwise. I also feel like this FOV is like I've got slowness applied. It's like FOV 60 or something. I guess there just wasn't anything to change that beforehand. So we get to be very zoomed in. It's what I like to call the grandma sight. You know, it's like when your grandma's driving or whatever, and she's using both hands and is leaning forward while driving. It's that level of FOV going on here. Okay, so we need a pickaxe, we need an axe, we need a sword. Okay, boom, there's that, and that. Okay, and then the old furnace. Perfect. And then very slowly. Oh my god, dude. Okay, and then let's hop down here. Not get one shot by a skelly. No ores. This sucks. I was hoping for maybe like a little thing of coal. Maybe a little bit of iron. No? Alright. So there is an F3. So at least we've got that moving. Let's do... Sure, we'll head in the Z direction. So I'm gonna write down the start. Oh yes, my favorite mob. 2188. What? I'm sorry? Z 136 is our starting point. Positive 136. And we're just gonna head this way. Are all the mobs named, or what happened to your tag? 21... Sir? You're a very suspicious sheep. Very suspicious. Now I actually need to backtrack a little bit. We are gonna need wool. Yeah, he just... Okay. The cow, he was a hollow cow. Okay, he was hollow. You know, it's like how sometimes, you know, you go to eat certain candies and it's just like hollow, it's just a shell of chocolate. He was just a shell of leather. Like, there was nothing to be had. Okay. And I guess sheep just drop their wool without having to be killed. I'm sure PETA would be happy about that. Sir? You know, an innocent animal did not have to pass away, and we got the wool. Okay, the shift click sucks. It's still one at a time. So anyway, beta's a little weird, a little funky, but whatever. It is what it is. Oh, look at that. It's a plains biome. And there's pumpkins. Let's slowly walk on over, because there's no sprint. No, I'm gonna take this guy right here. He's coming with us. He's gonna be our friend, and he's gonna come with us all the way to the Farlands. Something like, okay, 155.29. Yes, 155.29. It's a good day. I'll see you later. But I won't. I see that all the mobs are named, so there's a lot of mobs down there. I think I'm good. Aw, dude. It's 183.05. I haven't seen you in a while. Okay, I need to see... Oh, wait, it's only if I have F3. Is this like the animal ID or something? Okay. They drop leather. Do they not drop food? I guess not. I guess not. It is what it is, I suppose. Weird. Anyway. We've gone something like 100, 200 blocks by this point. Almost 200 on the z-axis. We're just gonna head this way for a while. The desert. Were desert temples a thing? Were desert temples a thing in beta? I actually don't know if there were actually any structures other than the Farlands. I don't know if villages were a thing. I'm pretty sure they were in the 1.0 release, but outside of that, I have no clue. There's a cave. Any coal? Any iron? Anything other than... So just press F3. Okay, there's some mobs down that way. I feel like it's cheating at this point that I can just press F3 and see the mob IDs as name tags. It is what it is. It's totally a feature, not a bug at all. But something tells me from working with other SQL related stuff that those are probably the mob IDs. Minecraft's a little bit different, so you wouldn't spawn them in traditionally. There is boats. That's good to know. And I feel like the stone tools in beta are equivalent to the modern wooden tools. Alright, let's use these terrible boats that don't move very fast. And I can't look around either. I have to look exactly where I want to go, because these boats were like that during this time. They weren't the cool little boats we have today with the paddles and everything. Oh, I'm sorry. The chicken was on to me. Like, I know what you're doing. More ship? Holy shit, it didn't break. And I spoke too soon, it just broke. Now, where... Yes, okay, good. I crafted the bed. Do I really have to craft another boat after that one just broke? Was there even a way to get your boat back once you placed it down? I'm gonna be honest, I don't think there was. I think it's just kind of like, if you misplaced it, well, you fucked up, you gotta make a whole nother boat again. Like, that's it. It's, you know, if you didn't have the wood, guess you're going to go get wood. I think it was you kind of SOL at that point. Okay, rewrite the tree. And, you know what, let's go do that, but we're gonna make a crafting table that we can leave behind. It's getting to be nighttime. I sure hope not. I can't, it is, because the very odd lighting change. We're actually gonna hold on a minute, because it gets insanely dark very quickly. Oh yeah, there's the sun, so that's west. Can I? Yes, I can go and head to sleep. Cool. Good to know. I like to not travel in the nighttime, because from what I remember, it gets insanely dark. Like, very dark. Oh, and we're heading in the east direction. Good to know. Nice, we're almost at -1,000. meaning we've traveled about, once we hit about 1,000, you know, it's about 900 something blocks. Because we start, well, no, that's actually more. It'd probably be closer to like 1,100. Which isn't terrible, but considering we gotta go something like, what, like 20 million blocks this direction in the Z-axis to hit the Farlands, it's gonna be absolutely insane. So, it's gonna take a hot minute, for sure. And I think it's just gonna be all the same terrain until we get to the Farlands too. So we're in beta 1.6. And again, I don't think there was many structures, if any. So, okay, boat, goodbye. Have fun. And then I suppose, I guess we can just stick to the stone stuff. It's not like we're doing a bunch of mining or anything like that, so stone's pretty easy to get just about anywhere. Is this the rose? It is the rose that later turned into the poppy. We're gonna plant it back. I don't want it. I don't want it right now. But the least we can do is get some leather armor, because it'll do something in case we do choose to walk through the night. Gotta get those gains, you know? I'm actually not seeing a lot of animals in general. Oh, I wonder, we're in beta 1.6. Is there the oof sound? Yes. The answer is yes. We have the old school oof sound. That's good. Is that frozen? Is it just ice? Because that'll do us some good. You can walk. Well, actually, I don't know. Beta 1.6 if that, if ice was quote unquote slippery, so we actually got to walk a little faster. That I don't know. But we're about to find out. Because we found a snowy beach. No. Nope. Ice is pretty useless. It's just cool to look at. I mean, it looks like it works for blocks, just not people, I suppose. Because I don't think it really does not feel like I'm walking any faster than I am on, like, the dirt or sand. But at least we don't necessarily have to use another boat. So, at least we have that going, but it looks like that's going to come to an end very quickly. Also, it looks like I will actually need some food, so pigs. Because sheep don't drop food. Cows apparently don't drop food, they're all hollow. Do the chicken drop the food? No. Nope. No. Alright, when you feathers. Feathers! And they just, very heavy feathers, I guess. They just sink right to the bottom of the water. Feathers are more dense than water here. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't want to craft another boat because it's such a short distance. But the swimming... it's fine, I guess. Make our way over. And there's no food to be had. All the animals are just hollow here. Which is wonderful. The sheep didn't drop food until... what? 1.8, 1.9. It's quite a while if you think about it, because I think a lot of people end up start playing the game. 1.7 I think was the most memorable for a lot of people. At the very least, it was memorable for me. But I started playing Minecraft, I think. I started at 1.4, and that was when it was, if anyone actually remembers when it was like, quote, oh, he dropped some there. So, years and years ago, there was the Minecraft for free site that was up for quite a while, till it got taken down. But I remember being at school, like elementary school, early middle school, or junior high in some places would be the equivalent. Me and a bunch of friends would go to the library at lunch, and we'd have one guy host the server, host the IP on one of the computers, and then we get like 10 or 12 other people, and we'd all play together on the same world during lunch, until our librarian was all like, hey, this is too violent for school, I'm banning it, you can't play it anymore. And I'm like, oh, thanks for ruining the fun, Karen, that's cool, thanks. And then suddenly, a lot of people did not go to the library anymore. And then I guess later on, maybe like a year later or something, the site was actually taken down by Notch, because it was basically the game hosted. The game was very simple in the code during its early days, especially during like early like 1.0 to 1.6. There, I guess there just wasn't as much code. So actually hosting it on a website, it like itself was pretty easy to do, I guess. I'm not a coder by any means, so don't quote me on that. But it was basically hosted for free, and then Notch took it down or had it taken down or something. Something like that. I don't know too much about those details. But I just remember playing it at school and stuff until they banned it. But that's when I really started, and then later, I ended up getting it for the Xbox 360. And then that's when I actually started playing on console for the longest time. So, until I was able to I got those old cards, like the physical cards you could go to like Walmart and buy, which was at the time wasn't even $30. It was like 26 or $27 for the physical card with the key, and you go to the Minecraft site and redeem it, which I still have to this day, because I ended up getting it for my birthday one year, and I ended up playing the hell out of it in like 2013, 2014, somewhere in that ballpark. I started playing it because almost every YouTuber I watched was playing Minecraft, and the younger me was like, this is the coolest shit I've seen today. So I always got super excited about people who did mods and stuff. You know, I'm sure everyone did who watched like the modded showcase stuff. It was like, you know, what was that one mod that had like the ant dimension? I can't remember. It had like ants and like the king boss and stuff like ore spawn. That's what it was. It was ore spawn, which was very popular. There was what was the other ones? It was it NEI, which is not enough items? Something like that. That was very popular because it showed you all the mod stuff and all the items in the game that was super easy to get a hold of. Can I sip it now? Ugh. Anyway, there was stuff like that that were super popular way back. And there was there's a few other mods, and people would basically compile their own mod packs and stuff, and it was actually pretty sick. So I remember a lot of that stuff being super popular. Oh yeah, we're going the right way. So there was that, and it wasn't until I think the computer I was running it on, the PC version of Minecraft, was fucking old as shit, and it barely did. I mean, for the time it ran Minecraft okay, but I think by today's standards, it wouldn't even run. Like, in order to get like 60 FPS and be able to record on that laptop, this would probably be the maximum version that we're currently playing. Like, it was that much of a piece of shit laptop, but for its time, it did fine. So, I think the laptop I got later was better in terms of specs, but it wasn't designed for gaming by any means. I had fucking an Intel i3 or something that was like a 1.9 gigahertz processor, had something like 8 gigabytes of RAM, dude. It was meant for like convenience, like good internet use, maybe some recording stuff or video editing, stuff like that it probably could have handled. But anything beyond like the basic gaming whatnot, it struggled. Which led me to actually saving up money and getting my current desktop. So, which is, at the time, was a steal, to be honest, and it's lasted. I've had the same computer for something like 4 years, 5 years, and I've upgraded some parts. I've got more RAM in there, better fans, stuff like that. But I really need a better GPU, which I've waited a while to actually upgrade to because it was that whole fiasco with people over, was it China? I think it was China, because a lot of GPUs were getting stolen just right off the trucks over there, and the GPU price had gone way up because everyone was doing their crypto mining and whatnot, and for those miners, they use GPUs. So when the 2080 came out, and 2080 Ti and all that, and the 3080s and stuff like that, the ray tracing, they had a lot of juice in them, essentially. So everyone was all like, oh, well, instead of gaming on them, let's go on ahead and use it for the crypto mining. So it was very big over in China for sure. And a lot of people, I'm sure here in the US, did a lot of crypto mining with it. I know this one guy making headlines because he basically bought a piece of land and he rigged up like hundreds of these 20 and 3080s to mine crypto. And he had a bunch of like fans and solar power and all this stuff to get power to reduce his electricity bill and maximize his crypto mining for Bitcoin and Ethereum or something. Dude spent like millions of dollars doing this. And this was years ago, keep in mind. So anyway, I had waited because I'm like, you know what, I don't feel like paying like $2,000 or $3,000 or maybe like $4,000 or $5,000 from a reseller just to upgrade my computer setup. So definitely due for a new processor. I want to try and shoot for the i9. I know that one's still a little dated, but it's newer than what I've got. And if I get the good one, it'll cost like $700, and it's not terrible. And then I would actually like to be able to get a 3080, because I think they're under $1,000 at this point. But I actually don't know. To be fair, I haven't looked in a while. So I definitely am due for the new graphics card or GPU and a new CPU. For sure. At the very least, if I want to continue doing some other games. Because I actually don't know if I have the specs or not. but I would at some point like to do some... Oh, okay. I'm gonna need some food at some point. But there's pigs. Hold on. Do you drop food? Nope, you were hollow. You drop food? Nope, you're hollow too. Bro, who's got the food around here? Okay, I got 1 raw pork chop after killing 3 pigs. Okay, we're 2. Okay, you gonna drop me some leather, my friend? Yes, you are. Anyway, back to the original point was, I needed some new parts. I'm overdue for some newer parts, so that way I can continue playing some more intense games, stuff like that. Because I wanted to do some Starfield stuff, but I don't know. To be fair, I didn't look at any of the specs for what I needed to even play the game on top of record it. So I probably will look at that after stream. Let's do pants. I wanted to be able to do Starfield. That actually looked kind of like a cool game. Cooked pork chops look like steak. But I want to be able to record Starfield. But I'm like, okay, well, I need, the good specs to be able to even play the game. And then I need to be able to record it as well, which takes more CPU power. So probably going to do some more research into it after stream. And be like, okay, so I can get definite answers on what I actually need to play the game. So, and then, what's the other part I needed? I don't think I need to really do anything with the motherboard as of right now. So, motherboard, which I don't think I really need to replace too often, really. Usually, you don't need to replace those parts as far as upgrades as often. I could be completely wrong and you should, probably replace those often, but I don't know. I haven't really looked at all the computer stuff for quite some time, because again, everything was super inflated and expensive, and things are, in general, are still super inflated and out of control. So, which is a problem within itself. Without going too deep into that rabbit hole, everything in general is just expensive everywhere. So, which is what it is, I suppose. But as far as GPUs and CPUs, they're a little cheaper because wasn't crypto mining banned in China? I want to say it was to a certain extent. I could be wrong, but I remember hearing that it was banned over in China at some point for was it something to do with like the environment or something, like it helped ruin the environment, something like that. I don't know why I got more wood, but even though I had like a stack in my inventory. But whatever. And I'm gonna make 2 boats because I'm probably gonna need one later. Okay, let's head off here. Very slowly. Slowly but surely. How many blocks have we gone? We're up to negative 4,200 on the Z. We started at positive 136. So we've gone almost 4,500 blocks so far. Which is... Oh, don't hit the sand. Very small. These boats seem... Okay, goodbye. Have a good time. These boats seem to be much more resilient than the ones we were just looking at in the 1.0 beta. What is going on here? These the zombies? Wanna fuck around and find out? Oh, nope, they're creepy boys. Get that? Nope, no sir. Missed me with that as we watch the lighting just very, like, in waves. Just in waves. It gets darker. You know, out of curiosity, I want... Why does the bed go behind the dirt, but it goes over the axe? It's like if it's actual, like an actual block, it goes behind it, but if it's an item that you can't place... Well, no, it doesn't do that with the boat. What the hell is going on here? I'm gonna set down the bed, watch the moon come up. How dark does it get here? I'm probably gonna make some torches here. I want mobs spawning. Oh lord, these are not bright. You know, it's still a pretty sunset, but my god. Okay, mobs be spawning. Oh shit. Oh shit, the darkness of beta is very dark. It is... Dude, I can't even see. Ouch. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go to sleep. I didn't know that was a thing where a zombie can just spawn and wake your ass up. Like, get out of bed, bro. We tossing hands. Ugh. Anyway, keeping on. And there's a spider up there. And there's a creepy boy over there. And there's a skeleton. Okay, no, he's burning. The skelly boy with his arm. Oh, he's not even holding. He's holding the bow item. He's not even like. It's not like me where I'm actually like holding the sword out. It's like he's carrying the item. But somehow he can use the bow. Fucking noob. Can I? Oh no! Can I go and? Yeah. So if you see how I'm actually holding the sword, it's not like that. It's like holding the item, like you put on a pedestal or something. Please drop a pork chop. Yo, he dropped 2. Got a 2 for 1. I need a lighter for how much damage we're taking. I like to avoid how much damage I'm taking, because I'd like to actually get there and not get sent back to spawn. That would be ideal. So, that'd be some bullshit. You know, you go like almost 5,000 blocks out, die, go back all the way back to spawn. Dude. Well, that's why we've got the bed, so we're not gonna let that progress anymore. Plus, it gets just dark. Like, dark. So, where I can't even see. Can't even see with how dark that gets. So, either way, it still is crazy to me how far the game has come. It's over a decade. Real quick, let's go kill these cows for more leather so we can get a little bit more armor going. Which, I'm only using leather armor, and it is providing a substantial amount of protection. Kill these hollow cows, alright? They're hollow, they have nothing to offer. Okay, let's go ahead and craft some... Oh, that's not what I wanted. Some good old boots. We get 3 more. We can craft ourselves a helmet. Yeah, the armor bar is almost full and I'm just using leather, so that would mean to me either leather armor is a lot tougher here, or diamond just don't exist. They just don't exist in this version at all. which would be interesting, but I would imagine diamonds exist, even in beta versions. And let's craft. I don't need to craft another boat. So give me back my crafting table. I forgot I crafted a second boat. My sword is getting worn down though, so I am gonna need to mine some more stone soon. That's why we have stone stuff. That's because super easy to get just anywhere. You know, it's about as easy as finding a Walmart. You know, most of the time anyway. So. You know, for as old as the terrain is, or at least the generation of it, I haven't seen much of the floating island stuff that I recall a lot of people actually saying, including myself. I don't remember which version. I mean, we're in beta 1.6, so god damn, the boat took that hit like a champ. Shit. These boats just not break. Come back here. I actually want to test this out. Hey, they do in fact break, but okay, come back here, cow. They do break, but they just don't break on hits? Like, that was from me, a player, who broke it. Okay, you're done. There's another cow. I know we're backtracking a little bit, but I do kind of want to get this leather helmet made. But all the cows are super far away. And, my character's brain is small brain. You don't know how to sprint. Okay, it fell down there. Okay, thanks. Now we can make the leather helm we want. Okay. Just casually fall into a hole. Okay, is this gonna give us full protection here? Close to it. We're missing 2 points. Not the worst thing. That just means leather armor is just insanely good here. And we continue. These guys only drop feathers that are heavier than water. Interesting. I think all items actually probably do that. So they'll just sink right down to the bottom, no matter what it is. Anything from a feather to just a block iron. Just now that I think about it, how rare are certain ores in this version of the game? Okay, there's coal there. Okay, well, you know what? Okay, I don't know if that... You know what? I'm not risking it. We don't need it as bad. We don't need to go down in the cave. It's just right there. It still is a little cheesy that I can just F3 and see where the mobs are. But I don't know what constitutes a respawn point in this version of the game. Because definitely in the new version you can just right click a bed and it'll tell you, oh, respawn point is set here. And that's where you'll respawn. But I don't... The prompt definitely doesn't come up, but I actually don't know if it would be the same. Wood, wooden plank. But it's birch. And this is spruce. Wood, wooden plank. Okay. All wood is same wood. And we use caveman talk when doing that. All wood, same wood. No matter what. They're all the same. Yeah. Let's go craft up a crafting table I don't have to pick up again. Let's make another boat. Is it getting nighttime? No, we're probably like 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Probably got 2 minutes. Something like that. And then we could probably just, is this? No. It's probably just a big lake. Seems to be the trend. We don't find these giant oceans. Nothing like that. Hear all them zombies. Yeah, see, it was just a big lake. Nothing like the oceans we've got in the modern Minecraft for sure. So, just some ice cubes chilling. Now, full speed doesn't break. You hit them and look, it just moves. Gone. Goodbye. Oh, a little bit more, some different scenery finally. Some different sounds. We got that snow going. That nostalgia do be hitting though, with how the water looks and everything. I guess we'll just sleep on this little island right here. Put down that torch. Only sleep at night. Does it spam? It does spam. Cool. Maybe let's not. I don't want to fill the chat with you can only sleep at night. There we go. Hopefully you don't get woke up in the middle of the night. If we do, I'm gonna have to... No, we're all Gucci. Something I might end up doing is building these little box shelters. So, and then going to sleep in that. Little dirt huts, you know? Is it really? Huh. I feel like we're walking just slightly slower on ice than we are on, like, dirt. Like, not very noticeable, but just slightly. Like 0.01% less walking speed. And jumping obviously doesn't really do as much here as it does in the modern Minecraft. More spruce. The old snowy plains and snowy taiga biomes. How many biomes were there originally in the... Yeah, I think up to like 1.0 release, there was... We have the forest biome, we got the plains biome, desert, snowy taiga, snowy plains. What else was there? There wasn't the jungle. The jungle was released later. So what, like, that's 5 biomes total. I honestly can't think of any other biomes there were up until, like, the jungle came out, which I want to say was the next biome. Jungle and its variants, I think. Or was it... I don't know, what do you guys think? I don't know. Because in modern Minecraft, there's something like 60 or more different biomes. Because, like, every main biome, let's say the forest biome, has sub-biomes. Like, they took the forest, and there's, like, a dark oak forest, and then there's, like... I guess the forest doesn't have as much... I think the jungle's more, though. And the ocean. Jungle, because there's like jungle biome, then there's like sparse jungle, then there's like hill jungle, or whatever the actual name is, so on and so forth. Just like how there's, instead of just the ocean biome, there's the deep ocean, the deep cold ocean, lukewarm ocean, warm ocean, right, and so on and so forth. So I feel like a handful of the other biomes have like sub-biomes in them. So okay, let's and oh yeah. Now that I'm actually thinking about it, I think we do actually move a little bit slower on ice. You do move a little bit slower on the ice than on dirt, so can confirm. How far are we going now? We're up to negative 68, almost negative 7,000. Keep in mind, we started at positive 136 on the z-axis. So we've gone something like 7,000 blocks just now. Not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, and then there's the music to kick in. Was it C418's music, I think? Good shit, man. Good shit. I always like the Minecraft music. Like, the newer stuff isn't bad either. But I think that the original stuff that was produced by C418 that came out, like both the music and the music discs and whatnot, were, I think, better. I think because not only was it like good music and universally liked amongst the Minecraft community, but I also think that since the music was originally released with the game by default, and it was the same producer making the same music, it all had the consistency of how it felt listening to the music was generally speaking the same. Right, versus when you listen to like the newer music, both in-game and music discs, they portray a completely different vibe. Again, not saying that it's bad, or the producer did a bad job or anything like that. I think that the newer stuff is fine. But I'm saying that the consistency between music was disrupted. Is all, you know? Yeah, so basically there was that disrupt, and with that being said, there's the consistency of having like the same Minecraft music, at least by the same person, and I think that Microsoft tried to get the same feel, but from what I know, it was like not much of a deal to be had, because Microsoft, obviously, with them just capitalism and wanting to just buy and own it, everything, which they probably do to some extent, right? They wanted to buy the rights to the music because something about the music industry that I think more and more people are actually like, oh, this is actually happening, right? Than how it used to be. But a lot of music artists, when they do music for a company, whether it's a record label to go on the radio or it's for a game or whatever, they don't actually own the rights. To my knowledge, they don't actually own the rights to the game or to the music. They produce it under contract that it, the gaming studio or the record label or whatever actually owns it, and you just get royalties and other stuff, right? But in the case of C418, he actually owned the rights to the music, because from what I've heard anyway, and from what research I found, is that he produced his music. Oh, there's Ryan down there. He produced his music and then had it put into Minecraft, right? Holy shit, that's a lot of zombies. That's like what? Like there's 4 right there, but then I think there's another one elsewhere. Okay, well I just wanted that iron, but maybe not. Oh yeah, it's right where all the zombies are. Okay, never mind. But at least we know it exists. The iron exists. Okay, but I don't want the smoke. Alright, last thing I need is to die and go back 7,000 blocks. Okay, let's chop down more wood. I don't want to run out of wood. But C418 had actually produced his music and he had owned the rights to it. And I guess it was like a lease contract or something with Notch, something like that, so that way, I was just sapling. So Notch had permission to use it, but then when Microsoft bought Minecraft, it was a different spiel. And I guess they just never came to terms with buying it or leasing it or anything like that. So, because obviously Microsoft doesn't want to lease a lot of stuff. That's just kind of how they are. They want to buy and own everything. So, which makes sense from like a company financial standpoint, right? If you're a big enough company and you've got the capital to buy the things, why would you rent it out? Why would you lease it? Granted, on the other hand of things, you could lease music and lease stuff and make more money off leasing it, because then you can use it as who knows what, right? There's a lot of other things that come into play there, like tax advantages and stuff like that big companies can take advantage of if they choose to lease rather than buy and own. Because if they lease it, let's say, oh, you pay X amount to this guy, but you lease the music for this, so it's an expense. Oh, okay, that boat was not as sturdy, right? Then it's more of, oh, well, it's a business expense that I have to pay, or every year, or every month, or whatever, right? Then you can deduct it, especially if it's a direct thing like music for the game, stuff like that. So then it becomes more of, oh, well, leasing it will give us a better return on investment or ROI, right? Versus actually buying it, then it's like a one-time expense that you deduct 1 year, but then what do you do for next year, right? But I would say specifically Microsoft's situation, it's more or less like, who gives a shit? They probably have more tax deductions than a lot of companies. So I don't think they care as much. I think there's some things that they're like, no, we're just going to buy it outright. We're just going to buy the company. They bought Mojang for a few $1 billion. Like, oh, whatever, not a big deal. And they buy shit. I don't think they lease as much anymore just because of how big the company is. Same thing with Amazon. I don't think Amazon rents or leases as much shit anymore. I think they're like, you know what, we're just gonna pay in full, buy the land, buy the construction costs, all that shit, just get it built as a one-time expense. But they do that every year, so that their one-time expense becomes more of a reoccurring thing. You know what I'm saying? So, and then it just gets crazy from there. Because, oh, you make in billions of dollars, but then you spent like 200 or 300 million dollars per billion you made on, employees and construction costs for new facilities or new office centers and shit like that. So everything just scales up very quickly when you look at companies like Microsoft or Amazon or Mojang, even other companies that have had a hard time, like Blizzard Entertainment. not only did their Diablo 4 kind of hit a rough time, but also World of Warcraft has been really going through it. Especially Classic. Like, it started in Vanilla, which I did play, and I did most of the raids, I will say. The only ones I didn't do was AQ40 and Nax. Because I didn't really get a chance to play in Vanilla, but so I was like, oh, the Classic will actually give me the chance to actually go back and do those raids for the first time, like in their original states, right? But what happened was the guild I was in just completely fucked me over in gear, so I never fucking got anything. So by the time Nax rolled out, I still needed items from BWL or ZG because they prioritized all the loot to like the same like 10 people. So whenever I joined the raid groups, it was more or less half the time it was like, alright, roll off the item, and that's like RNG, so it's more or less like, oh, I won the item or I lost the item. And then the other part of the time is, okay, well, this item is reserved for this guy because he needs it. And I'm like, okay, but I also need it, so what's the deal? So it's more of a loot council kind of thing, prioritizing like 5 people, and that's a whole spiel. As we all know. On top of, you know, Burning Crusade came out. I leveled up. So in Vanilla I had a rogue and a warrior I leveled up. Which, I did the warrior first, which took forever. As we all know, warriors just level slow as fuck. In Classic and Mage leveled the fastest because they have AoE farming, right? And then I leveled up my warrior to 60, and then I did a protection warrior and a respect. Or I leveled his arms, but then I went protection because not a lot of people were. So for every group, I just could not find a tank, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll be the tank. We'll just spam dungeons and whatever, right? And which helped with leveling, especially dungeon leveling, because most of the time we needed 1 DPS, which yeah, I'm gonna need a boat for this. Most of the time DPS was super easy to find, so not a problem on that front. And then Burning Crusade came out, and I chose to go Fury, which actually wasn't that bad for how I was playing. But then the same thing happened, didn't get a lot of loot. I did not do a lot of the raids in Burning Crusade. I did all of Tier 4, so Magtheridon's Lair, Growth Lair, Karazhan. I did Serpent Shrine Cavern, and then that was it. And then Wrath came out. The pre-patch came out, so I got all the pre-patch stuff. I got all the Undead Slaying set on my Death Knight. Then they let us level up in the pre-patch. So I had a warrior, a rogue, and a Death Knight all at 70. And I had a hunter I leveled up, and which was only like 57, I think. 57 or 58, one of the two. So I was like, oh, well, I need this profession, so I'll level up a hunter. Which was substantially easier than melee because I could just send my pet in and just shoot from afar, so it wasn't as bad. And then I had one more. I had a paladin. I chose to level a ret paladin as well in the pre-patch. And I got that character to 72 when Wrath came out. My Death Knight, I think, was also 72. My Warrior was 74, so I never even reached 80 in Wrath. To be fair. Just because it got boring. Like, no one was doing any kind of dungeon. Everyone was literally questing or AoE farming. So there was barely anyone doing dungeons after, like, the first 3 days of the release. People were already hitting 80. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm at 72. And no one's doing any kind of dungeon content or anything at all. So I was like, well, this is some horse shit, so then I quit playing. And then Dragonflight was announced that it was releasing and stuff. And for once, over the many years I've played WoW, I actually got into the Dragonflight beta. And that was, I'll actually say that was actually kind of fun. I got to test out all the gems and the professions on multiple different classes. I did Death Knight, which it seemed like Frost was actually doing pretty good when I played the beta. That Frost DK was actually doing decent damage. And Enhanced Shaman was brutally overpowered in the beta. Like, I remember maxing out a bunch of gems and enchants, like, and going and just, like, I could solo the dungeons. And then I watched Asmongold play on his Prot Warrior, and he was just tanking. He was doing so much damage as a Prot Warrior, and then having all the stats of a tank, so he had a shit ton of health. And dude could just solo the dungeons too. So I feel like a lot of the classes were super overpowered, which, as we all know, gets pretty fun to play when you're super overpowered. But obviously, for balance reasons, you know, the devs were like, no, 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 no. So then that obviously didn't last for very long, and all the nerfs started rolling out. As sad as it is, but whatever. I'm not going to complain too much. I did enjoy it while it lasted. At least in the beta. I didn't buy the expansion because I'm like, whatever. I don't play the game enough to justify $15 a month to the sub to it, so by no means do I make any money off playing the game anyway. So there's like zero reason for me to really play because I don't have fun playing the game. I don't make any money doing anything off of it. So, you know, it's whatever, right? And with how the current state of the game is, it's more like grindy, I feel. Like, I thought about getting back into WoW because they recently did the official hardcore stuff. So I actually thought about returning and doing the hardcore, because it's in vanilla, it's not like Burning Crusade or anything, so it's 1 to 60. So I thought about doing that, maybe streaming that, just for shits and giggles and fun. Pay for like 1 or 2 months, and then going ahead and do that. Oh, it's getting to be nighttime. I'm gonna craft up. We're actually running into a lot of water, so I'm gonna craft up multiple boats here. And you throw down the bed, throw down a torch, multiple torches, because these guys don't. It's not very lit over here. I want to make sure no mobs wake me up in the middle of the night, you know. Okay. Let's collect our belongings. We don't need the crafting table. Where'd that one torch go? Shut up! Anyway. Is that another snow biome? Where are we at? Oh, we're about to cross the 10,000 block mark. What is going on here? You gonna load, or are you just bugged? There it goes. Okay, wait for it. Maybe when we get to this tree, it'll be 10,000. Coming up. 20 more blocks. There we go. We're officially over the 10,000 block mark. God damn. Just a few million more blocks to go. How far was it? Was it like 12 million? 12 to 20 million blocks was the border? Or was the Farlands, excuse me? Because I don't think the border was much of a thing. And just walking and doing this stuff actually gets me a little curious. Okay, there's mobs further down in the cave. Well, that's not helpful. Actually, give me my torch back. I'm gonna need it. I'm actually curious, in the modern Minecraft with the elytras, and you've got a beefier computer so you can load chunks faster and all that stuff, how fast could you reach the border in survival? Like, you go, you beat the game, get an elytra, get the enchants, do all that stuff, and then you just firework all the way to the border. And like 1.20, so it's the new update. I'm actually curious how, if anyone's even done that, because supposedly there's only a handful of people who have completed the journey in the version I'm doing, where you go to the Farlands. So, and it's understandable. This is a very grueling journey. I mean, like, you start off in the early stages of beta, and you have no sprint at all. Like, I'm going as fast as I can. The ice seems to slow me down quite a bit, so it's not ideal, but it's better. It's still faster than water. And then you don't have any elytras, nothing like that exists here. No sprint. Food doesn't... Well, I guess that's a good thing that food doesn't play much of a role. Because imagine... I mean... You saw how fast we were losing hunger in just the 1.0 release. So... However, we do have some good protection, so... Okay, you didn't drop anything. Wait, I have a full set of leather armor. I don't need... Whatever. Well, rest in peace, cow. Alright, remember all the cows, guys. So... Okay. Getting up to the 11,000 mark. I think once we hit... Okay, lost the other half. I think once we hit about 12,000, I think we'll start winding down the stream or so. Something like that. So I'm sure stream's not the most entertaining, it's mostly my commentary here, as we very, very slowly make our way out to the Farlands, but we'll get there. It'll take quite a while, but, you know, I think it's about the journey, not the destination, is what they always say, you know? So I'm sure it's more of the commentary and stuff that we have together. And, you know, from you guys, the viewers, and me, the streamer and stuff, just kind of hanging out, chilling, and, you know, we're just vibing here, you know? Especially with 1.6 beta, there's not a lot to look at. There's grass, there's zombies, and, you know, it's the same, like, 5 biomes. Same 5 biomes, same, you know, 3 mobs, there's no rabbits or anything like that. It's cows, sheep, pigs. Cows drop the leather, pigs drop the food, sheep drop the wool, and zombies, skeleton, creepers, and spiders, and that's about it. Very simple, very basic, very nostalgic. And with the nostalgia trip, it can be kind of enjoyable to see the old world again. And the old oof sound. Can't forget about that. Does it say what biome we're in? No, I'm getting an insane amount of FPS. We're locked in at, you know, like 180 to 210. Jesus. Just to show how, you know, easy it is to run the game. Careful, I don't want to take too much damage. Again, I'd be real pissed if I died. So, play things safe. I mean, I guess I could put it on peaceful, but what's the fun in that? What's the fun in playing on peaceful? Like, we gotta make it a little interesting, you know? Well, that's why we've got the armor. That's also why I'm not really mining. But we can confirm iron does exist. So, I don't know. I don't know. I would imagine with iron there's gold, and diamond. Actually, redstone was introduced later, that much I do know. So there's no redstone. And then I don't know if lapis is a thing. And here's the twist, is the fact that in this version there's no creative mode. There's no chat system, so there's no commands of any kind. So there's nothing. Because that stuff was added later. I actually want to say that maybe that was in the 1.0 release, but maybe it was later than that. I actually don't know what the deal is with that, so yeah. The old splash sounds true of the water. Gotta remember that. Now let's get up here. And is it more ocean? Because it's more ocean, I'm gonna have to use a boat. It's more ice and shit. But we're about there at about 11,520 in the negative direction on top of a 136. So we're talking 11,656 blocks we've gone just today. That's not bad at all. And you know, what's the time frame we're looking at? Just under hour and a half, about an hour and 15 minutes or so. So that's not bad at all if you think about it. So probably every, 2 to 3 hours, probably about what, 12? So about 12,000-ish if we round up. It's about 30,000 blocks every 2.5 hours. Yeah, it's gonna take a long ass time for sure. But anyway, guys, I enjoy you guys tuning in to my somewhat interesting commentary today. If you are a VOD viewer, consider following me. I do stream pretty consistently, and a lot at that, and I do more than just the old version of Minecraft. I do a lot of all the mod stuff, and I am thinking about streaming some other games. Not sure yet, so suggestions are definitely appreciated for sure. Outside of Minecraft, that's kind of the main thing, but it is what it is. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys in the next stream.